understand these. Like, what's it even filming at this point?
Everything.
Yeah, but that's not true. It's not filming everything.
No, it's true. Yeah.
It's
The only thing it doesn't film is this. Francis Bourgeois.
So we got a swim session this morning in Casa de la Casa. Pretty nice pool here, but my swimming at the minute is pretty limited because I mentioned at the end of my last video that I had a bit of an accident in Arshon at Florian Leon's wedding, where I basically got hit by a wave, hit the deck, and really banged up my shoulder. Ended up going to hospital with Leon's mum, which is very kind of her, and nothing's broken, but it's not great. So I don't know if you'll be able to see from this camera angle where you can see like it's really raised up here, really quite painful, some considerable like ligament damage and stuff like that. I don't know, tendon damage, whatever it is. So we're trying to see a physio out here, but I'm trying to like nurse it a little bit. So my swim will probably end up being max 1500 meters, which is a bit annoying, not where I want to be, but I can still focus on bike and run. It's still painful. I can't sleep properly, so there's like, yeah, I need to go and get some painkillers today, but I'm trying to do as much as I can, yeah, within reason, not force it too much, but also keep the movement.
We do 1050s, 10 metres hard, 15 metres hard, 20 metres hard, 25 metres hard, one easy, times 2.
Yeah.
And then I did 12 ones, 4 off 90, 6 off 125.
Look at you.
Alright.
Fred's the only one swimming well. That's only 10.
I'm the only one surviving. Florrie swam well.
Florrie is swimming well as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to look this as well?
No.
How was your swim, Harry? Messy.
How was my swim? Better than the last few days, so every day is getting a little bit better, which is good, but I still only did 2k, so not amazing. Work to be done, but yeah, can finally get some intensity in the shoulder a little bit, but yeah, still frustrating to not be able to do full swim sessions yet. We'll get there.
Yeah. How's the heat?
Yeah, I'm not enjoying the heat. Actually, it's better today.
It's not that hot today.
It's 18 degrees.
Yeah.
Dreamy. The last few rides has been high 20s, so
Low 30s.
yeah, low 30s. Yeah, so not been brilliant. Been struggling a little bit, quite a lot of cramp. So I need more bananas because monkeys never cramp.
Monkeys don't cramp.
Are you on camera?
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, Fred just
And
did
how are you finding the altitude?
Yeah,
I'm sleeping a lot better than last year, which is good. What else? The altitude. The run session last night was quite hard, breathing quite heavy, but I don't know if that was just altitude or whether we were running uphill or whether I was trying to chase Leon.
Probably all three.
Probably all three.
Yeah.
The swim today, I definitely, even swimming easy, the altitude doesn't feel great, but that's why we're here. So yeah, hopefully after 4 weeks of it, we'll get home. The air will be nice and thick, be able to chill on it, and we'll be pushing 400 watts everywhere. How hard can that be? Pops on the video. Say hi.
I still don't understand how that thing sounds.
Bye bye.
You're filming the floor and the ceiling.
Everything.
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 Every second now.
Session today, what have we got? 2 and a bit hour ride ish.
Freddie, start with headphones in, which is never a good sign.
8 by 3 minutes, balls to the wall. That's what we got.
Hello, it's bedtime in the household of triathlon.
bit more of an update on the injury. So to give a bit more information on that, it was a really stupid injury. I've got no one to blame but myself, and it's not even training related. The fact that it happened at a beach, there was a really big shore break. I stupidly decided, oh, I know, why don't I catch the biggest wave I can see? And it slammed me straight into the beach, and it hurt like hell. And I genuinely thought I dislocated my shoulder, or I thought I'd broken something. I mean, luckily I checked, didn't break my collarbone, but I was in agony. And yeah, obviously Leon's mum, absolute star, took me to hospital in Arcachon. They did an x-ray, there were no broken bones, so they put me in a sling, sent me away, did the wedding, drank loads of alcohol, felt absolutely amazing. And it was a great wedding, thanks to Florian and Leon. And then we've come to Andorra for obviously a training camp for the month, and it still really hurts. It's been getting a little bit better, like I am able to swim a little bit. The first few swims I was only really able to do like a K max, and it was really painful, and I wasn't swimming properly. I've now managed to build that up to about 3K. That's kind of my limit at the minute. And I wanted to find a physio out here who could really help me with the rehab, because I didn't really know if I'd done ligament and tendon damage, what the recovery process will need to look like, because ultimately I want to be racing as soon as possible. Like I really want to race 70.3 Europeans, and that's in about 4 weeks time, and I don't know if that's feasible. So I looked at finding the best physio I could. Thanks very much to Tom Epton, who put me in contact with Maria Ferguson, I believe, who he got her contact from Cam Worth, so thanks to Cam as well, thanks to Tom Epton, and she was an absolute star. She saw me, and she did some treatment on me, and ultimately, like, the muscles around the shoulder joint are really tight, to kind of, I guess, like protect themselves, protect the joint. So she did some treatment on me yesterday. I woke up this morning feeling horrible, like I was really stiff, in quite a lot of pain, but after a swim this morning felt a little bit better, just like loosening it off a little bit. And then I managed to see a doctor in the same clinic in Ordino, and he did an ultrasound scan, just because Maria wanted to find out if there was actually like some really bad ligament and tendon damage, like if something snapped, then obviously we're going to need to think about surgery, and just have some more information there. Luckily, there isn't any kind of snap tendon, snap ligament, whatever. It's just really inflamed, which I guess is good news. Well, it's definitely good news that there's no kind of break there. However, the doctor did say, like, this is, the recovery process, it does vary. Like, it can be weeks, but it can also be months. Fingers crossed it's not months, because that will really suck so much. But he basically just said, like, lots of ice, anti-inflammatory cream if I can come across some of that. And yeah, I mean, essentially I can train through it to a degree, but obviously the more I train through it and the more pain I experience, the longer the recovery process is going to take. I'm not going to make it any worse, because nothing's broken, but I will just irritate it more. So it's finding that fine line of training through it to maintain fitness, and obviously enjoy the fact that I'm out in Andorra for a month of altitude training, but also not go too far, so that I don't prolong the recovery the recovery process any longer than it needs to be. So I guess it's good news, but it's also really frustrating. I've got like a bit of a trapped nerve in my back as well, because I think just all the muscles have really tightened up, and so I'm going to get someone to kind of have a look at that. And it's obviously incredibly frustrating, but I've only got myself to blame, which just a really stupid mistake on my part, being an absolute mug. And it's not even a fancy injury really, is it? So yeah, it's just really frustrating. I'm able to bike to a degree. It's just really quite stiff and painful, and swimming is really quite painful, and then running is okay. It's getting a little bit better, but it's that joltiness when you're like kind of stretching that joint. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep an eye on it. Luckily I am able to train through the injury. However, I do need to, like I said, make sure I'm not being an absolute idiot. So it's just managing that. But fingers crossed, I will still be on the start line for 70.3 Europeans. However, I'm not going to book anything just yet because I don't. It's in 4 and a bit weeks, and I'm only able to swim 3K really easy currently. So that might be a bit too much. I may have to kind of miss that, and then fingers crossed I'll be good for 70.3 Swansea, which would be like the weekend after. So it gives me another week of recovery. I don't know. Like I said, I'm really hoping that it's a couple of weeks recovery rather than, like the doc said, maybe a couple of months. Yeah, it is what it is. It's just going to be uncomfortable. I've just got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, not forcing it too much, but also, yeah, trying to maintain as much fitness as I possibly can, essentially. So, yeah, that's where I'm at currently. Obviously a little bit frustrating, but like I said, yeah, only myself to blame. And I mean, it's not too bad. It could be a lot worse. I'm in a really cool place right now. Yeah, and so want to make the most of that, and we'll do some really cool kind of training content out here in Andorra, which is obviously an absolutely amazing place to come training, and I would recommend it to anyone out there who's looking for an altitude training camp. I think it's absolutely incredible. So yeah, we'll do some more behind the scenes training content, but just wanted to give people a bit more of an update on what my injury is, and what the recovery process will look like. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate the support, and fingers crossed I'll be back on the start line as soon as possible.